Aujourd'hui, c'est le vendredi 3 avril. 3 avril plutôt. Donc d'abord, end of unit Q&A, une pause, et puis on va revoir les verbes faire, finir et perdre. Et je vais vous parler un peu du Gimkit pour mardi. Okay, so again, we're finishing up this unit. Wednesday, we reviewed negation. Today and next Tuesday, we will review, maybe focusing on verbs a little bit more. And then next Thursday, you'll take the exam on Canvas. As with every exam, I'm most interested in assessing whether or not you have mastered the material. I don't expect perfection. I'm more focused on can you do the thing? Can you do the thing? Can you conjugate these verbs? Can you use negation in French? Simple negation, right? Because as I've told you in French 3, it's going to be more sophisticated forms of negation. So on the exam, I'll be looking at regular RE verbs, IR verbs like dormir, IR verbs like finir, and then ER verbs. So today, after the break, I'll be reviewing RE verbs, IR verbs like finir, and then faire, the verb faire. Okay. And maybe Tuesday we can review dormir type verbs, regular ER verbs, and then just more general review. And I look forward to kind of seeing how you do on the Gimkit this weekend. There will also be negation. There will be the sports vocabulary, and then jouer à and faire de. I'm not going to ask a lot of jouer à and faire de, but I still want to put on there to really kind of make sure that, okay, have you mastered that a plus le equals o, a plus la, a plus le, o, aux, etc. So in preparation for class today, you asked questions to me about the exam in a Canvas discussion. And I want to thank those of you who participated. A lot of you took advantage of this opportunity to ask some really great questions. And I think this is a really good activity, and I'm really glad I did it. And I really appreciate those of you who submitted questions. I went through and I read them. And I saw that there were kind of common themes. There were some questions that were kind of repeated a little bit, or maybe the spirit of the question was repeated. So in this video, I'm not responding to all the questions. I'm just responding to the ones that seem to get to the heart of the matter. If you feel like I haven't responded to your questions, I'll address that in a little bit. Okay, so the first question from Wes was really good. Are we going to have videos to watch in the exam, or listening? Nope. No. Okay? No listening. No speaking. Nina had a really good question. How many points will the test be out of, and will the test be timed? Double whammy, right? Great questions. It'll be around 60 points, okay, roughly. If the negation quiz was, I think, 30, this will be around 60 points. Negation quiz was maybe a little less than 30, I forget. And then I'll set a limit of 2 hours to take it. Normally we have 90 minutes in class, and I want to give you a little extra time for this. I want you to have plenty of time. What are the questions going to look like? Multiple choice, short answer, written, etc. Thanks, Lily. This is a really good question. Lily asked this question, and a few other people asked it too, similar ones. So it'll be roughly 50% multiple choice, 35% fill in the blank, and 15% short answer. I'm not going to stick to those percentages precisely, but I wanted to give you an idea for roughly how it's going to break down. There will be several short answer questions in the style of the negation quiz, where, for example, I asked a question and you responded to a question with an answer. And it's going to be really important. I think it's worth going back to review that negation quiz that you took, where a question is asked and you have to respond to the negative, and a lot of times the subject changes. So I really want you to review that. And I like that format because it allows me to see, can you conjugate these verbs for different subjects? Do you know how to negate? So on and so forth. But those are, I don't want that to be the bulk of the exam, because that might be more challenging. So the bulk will be multiple choice, and then fill in the blank, and then just a little bit of short answer. How will the quiz be separated with the different topics? So thank you, Bella. This is a really great question. A few other people asked similar ones. As always, the portion of the exam focusing strictly on vocabulary will be the least significant points-wise. So this is kind of like a matching activity or something like that we've done in the past. It's the least challenging in terms of like what you can do. I just want to make sure that you have the need to know vocabulary, and I'll be focusing on the need to know part in the packet. The most significant questions on the exam in terms of points will focus on things like negation and conjugations of these verbs, right? And so there may be some vocabulary tied into those questions, but it's mostly going to be focusing on those grammatical points like negation. Did you include both the ne and the pas? Is it around the verb that's conjugated? Is the verb conjugated correctly for the subject? So the exam is not designed to be open note. However, if you do decide to use notes during the exam, realize that finding those notes takes time. So, practice good test-taking skills if you decide to use notes on the exam, because you need to stick to that 2-hour limit. If you have an IEP or a 504 that gives you extra time, that's a different story, right? But by and large, I want to make sure everybody sticks to that 2-hour limit. It shouldn't take you more than 2 hours. I really try to plan the exam so that you have plenty of time. How will we be taking the exam? Will it be on Canvas or through a different program? This is a good question, Tyler. Yes, the exam will be entirely on Canvas. It'll be listed as a quiz, much like the negation quiz you took. The exam will just be a bit longer. The quiz, I noticed a lot of y'all took maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes with the quiz, the negation quiz. This will be longer, so it'll take a little bit longer for you. Can we use the euros? So yeah, Aaliyah's been earning those euros, and I was kind of anticipating this question. I was surprised not to see too many people asking this. But if you have euros, yes, send me a message on Canvas with a photo of all your euros. I'll just toss them all towards this exam, okay? And so it'll be like €1 to 1 point, bada boom, bada bing, done, okay? So if you've got those euros saved up, those little plastic coins, take a photo of them, one photo, right, of just the pile of euros you got where I can count them, and send it to me on Canvas, and that'll be that, okay? So if you watch this video and you listen carefully to these answers I just gave you, to these really great questions, but you still feel like the question you asked still hasn't been answered, send me a message on Canvas. So let's take a little break. Faisons une petite pause, okay?